is how to control the media player that's attached to the projector at batch 154. The media player is a BrightSign player, happens to be a LS424 is this particular model. In order to control it and create content, we're going to use an app called BA Connected, available for both Mac and PC. Of course, from the Mac to the PC, there's slight differences in how the interface looks, but they're pretty minor and should be easily navigated. We're going to avoid any other thing here besides new presentation. I want you to know that this media player has a lot of options and a lot of stuff that you can do with it. They're going to be beyond the scope of this video. What this video is going to show you how to do is how to upload content to this media player and how to remotely push it to that media player once you're on the local Wi-Fi network at batch 154. So step one is we're going to create a presentation. When we do this, we want to give it a name, and let's just say it. We're going to call batch 154 test is the name of our presentation here, and I want to put it into a folder which I've created on my desktop, which is, I'm going to say test presentation. It's important to know that with the BrightSign player, when you create this, you are going to push this all over the network to the device. You're not going to be able to retrieve what you've created. So it's very important that you start by creating a folder that has your presentation file that we've just put the path in for, and you put all of your assets in it. So for example, in this case, I've already made a folder on my desktop that has all the different graphics I'm going to be using, and it has the file that I just saved, which is this Lafayette 1 BPFX file. Okay. So next, the target device is an LS424. It should default after you do this the first time. That's why mine is. Connector is HDMI, target resolution is 1920 by 1080, target frame rate is 60, landscape is the correct orientation. So from there we hit start, and we can do a couple things here. We're not doing multiple zones. Multiple zones are particularly advantageous, by the way, for digital signage for retail. So maybe you want a picture of a burger in the upper left corner and you want that to cycle, but then from there you want inside to have prices or something. That's where multiple zones come into play. We're not going to deal with that in the context of this video. So we're going to double click to edit zone 1. And the simple thing here, if you wanted one image or video, right now I'm not going to go through all the video formats it allows, but generally it should allow an H.264 video at 1080 resolution, which is so standard HD resolution. It's going to allow you to put that in there. I want you to know that this player is very specific about resolutions, so you can't have weird resolutions that are non-standard for the most part. But if you just took one JPEG, one photo, one video file, put it in here, you could hit publish right now. You need to save it first. And then you're going to pick your network units over here. It may default to saying local system storage in the software, but you're going to pick local network, and you have to be on the same network that the unit's on, which is the batch 154 Wi-Fi, which happens to be LP market. You need to be connected to that SSID. Once you are, you can pick this, and then you can hit publish. It's going to take some time, not a lot of time for one image. A video can take longer. But at that point, that's going to push the unit will restart, and that image will be showing up on that projector as you see this schedule 24/7. Okay, so we're going to go back into the presentation, we're going to discard this, and we're going to see what we have available. Okay, so right now, you could put a series of images here. And then you can adjust the time. So there's 6 seconds right now that's going to be in between these images. And right now, if we hit publish and we did the same steps I just showed, all these images are going to play for 6 seconds and then transition. And you can adjust the time and that kind of thing. If you go into the presentation settings, there'll be options like fade out and all those kind of things that you can explore if you want to. But basically, this will play a slideshow for you. You hit publish, and you're all set. What I'm going to show you is the ability to do some interactive stuff, which is really cool. It's where if you switch this to interactive, and now you bring an asset in, I'm going to show you that. Let's say we have poster 1, poster 2, and poster 3. So we have 3 pieces of content, and let's just say we want these to be static, meaning they don't change, they don't do a slideshow. What that means is that I want them to play until I want to change them. There is an app for the iPhone, and I'm assuming it's for Android. But if you search it on the App Store, it's called BrightSign, and that app will allow you to use your phone. Again, if you're on the exact same network, which would be the LP market in this case, you're going to take this and you need to make what's called UDP commands. You can see me under the events. I'm scrolling here to the right. I'm clicking on UDP, and I need to click at the bottom near the file name of this. And that triggers a UDP event. So right now, I'm going to call this UDP input. Right now, I just see that this poster 2 is labeled 21 in the upper left-hand corner. I'm not going to get into discussing why in the scope of this video, but just know that you'll see each asset here has a number in the upper left-hand corner. So I'm going to call this one 21. I'm going to say 21 is the UDP input, and for the label, I'm going to call it mountains, because that's what's in the photo, for example. This is what's going to show up on the app. You're going to see a button that says mountains. If you, whatever you label it here is what it's going to show up on the app as an option. From there, I need to go to target state, transition to new state, and I'm going to pick poster 2. I can see the file name right there. So now, when you're on this image, you have an option of going to poster 2. That's the only choice that exists. The only other thing I want to mention here is that when the player starts up, after a restart, after you push the content, it is going to go to the image or video that has the house on it, which is the initial state. That can be changed here. It's not under advanced. Let's see here. That is, it's initial state. We can see that this one's already set. If you wanted to change it, you can't change it on the one that you already have the house on. But if I wanted poster 2 here to be the initial state, all I got to do is check that box, and now it is. So I'm going to come back to poster 1, change it to initial state. So this is what's going to load up. Now I've already created a UDP message to have an option on my app to go to poster 2. So now I'm going to hit poster. I need to make an option for this message to go to this Coca-Cola sign. That's poster 3, happens to be item number 22. So for UDP input, I'm going to put 22. It's important that these UDP inputs should be unique from any graphic asset you have here. Okay. The next, I'm going to say the label is, we're going to call it Coca-Cola. And then transition down here in target state, transition to new state, calling it poster 3. So now when this thing loads up, it's going to go to this Miami poster, and you're going to have 2 options that you can choose from. I don't need to create an option for it to go to itself because it's already there. But now when I'm at this new poster, poster 2 here, the mountains, I want a choice to go back to Miami or Coca-Cola. So I'm going to come down here, click at the bottom near the file name. I still have this UDP highlighted in blue. Click here, and then I'm going to call this one 20, and I'm going to call this Miami. Transition to new state, poster number 1, done. Next, I'm going to add another message. This is going to be 22 to match this upper left number that's valued there. And then I'm going to call it Coca-Cola. Transition to new state, poster 3, so it matches this file name. So now on poster 2, I can go back to Miami or go to Coca-Cola. Lastly, poster 3, same thing. 2 messages because I have 2 other assets. I'm going to click here and say, all right, this is, first one is 20, and that is Miami. I need to now transition to a new state. Don't forget to do that step or it won't work. Come back here, add another message by clicking towards the bottom. You see a little plus symbol. Sometimes click and drag sometimes, I guess. And then now I'm going to say 21, and this is mountains. And transition to new state, poster 2. Now this is done. I'm going to save. I'm using on the Mac the shortcut Command S to save. I'm going to publish this to, again, up here, local system network is the default, but after you've done it once, it should default to local network. Pick this. Now I'm going to hit publish. It's going to say your minimum iOS. Ignore this, and you can say don't show again. It's going to publish, and then now I can see that on the projector screen, the Miami show is actually showing right now. So that concludes part 1 of this video. I'll take a video here shortly that will show what the screen looks like and the different options once we hit those buttons on the iPhone app.
In order to load the BrightSign app, search for it on your mobile device, and it will start to search for nearby units. In order to find a nearby unit and to find the batch 154 BrightSign 1 player, you have to be on the same Wi-Fi network for the venue, which is the same one that the BrightSign player is on. If you're on a different network, it will not find it. Once you find it, if you look to the bottom, there are several different buttons built into the app. There's variables, actions, diagnostics, and so forth. The only one we're going to focus on today is actions. Click on actions, and this will be where all of the programs that we created in the Bright Author program on the Mac or PC, these buttons will be available to you as an end user.